I made notes of all the things that got passed along to personnel. So really there's 1, 2 of those at least have to wait. The last one I don't think I wrote down. The assessor and collector, that chief deputy position, there is already a description written for chief deputy. So the question is, do we want to create a slot for that in Manila and Leachville? The finance committee basically is willing to authorize the money should we create that position.
You know, I don't mind creating slots and positions, but I really think, it's my opinion, that the person asking for them ought to at least be here.
I won't disagree with you. So you want to wait till they're here to ask for it?
I think she's been here and asked for it. I mean, because we've had this discussion some in the past, and I don't know exactly to what extent, because I've got CRS, like a lot of us in this room. But anyway, she has talked about it. And that stands for can't remember stuff, so anyway.
They have brought it up before. They have asked for it a couple of times. They asked for it mid-year, but they have not. I guess you could say they haven't formally proposed it to personnel because they proposed it to Justice White's committee. And we're gonna have to have another meeting to discuss the juvenile once they get us a job description and also the election coordinator once that job description is written.
Then I would suggest we put it off until then, and then possibly that person asking these positions can come to them.
We'll have both of them here.
I'll second it.
All right, that is tabled till our next meeting.
Was that all 3 of them?
Yeah, because we'll have to have job descriptions on all of them.
Okay.
I guess we need to vote on that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, the reason that we called the meeting today was to look at moving the finance department under the control of the treasurer. And this is to create, in order to structure it, in order to operate with more efficiency and transparency. Would you like to discuss that? Do I have a motion that we make that change?
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right. This will be the ordinance that we should appear at the next time. If there's any further discussion, I'll have one for everybody passing on.
Everybody?
I think that's enough.
Need one for Janice? We have a motion and a second. I'll give you all a second to read over that. And if there's any discussion, we'll have a discussion.
Does everybody, do you understand what's going on?
Halfway.
They're moving, the financial management office is gonna move out from under the judge and over underneath the
Oh,
county
okay, I know.
treasurer.
You can explain it better than that.
That's pretty simple, isn't it?
Yes. I don't have to read.
I can even understand that, I think.
There's no question when you explain it that way, okay?
All right. Have we got any discussion?
Pretty well understanding.
Yeah. Just for gee whiz, we are actually only one of 6 that have been operating the way we've been operating. Out of 75 counties, we're only one of 6 that's been operating this way.
It's, what it does is it actually puts the finance department where it should be under the treasurer. That's the lines of authority for controlling the department. She still has supervised, she'll still be supervised by the county judge, the county clerk, And nothing else in the ordinance changes. I did not make extra copies of the ordinance that we passed in 2011. But basically, it breaks down that each one of the departments pays 33.33% of their expenses. That is the county judge, the county clerk, and the county treasurer. This just moves the lines of authority for hiring and firing of the finance department, finance director, to the county treasurer.
We currently have how many in that department?
3.
3.
There's Leslie, Beverly, and
Kelly.
Kelly. Yeah, come back.
See what I said about CRS?
You have a discussion? Any questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. This will pass to the
Full court.
regular quorum court meeting next Tuesday night for a vote of the entire court. There was the one other thing that, and I guess I'm having a mental breakdown today or something.
There's a typo in Article 3,
Typo in article.
ordinance.
You're talking about the ordinance? The word ordnance is misspelled. Needs to add an I in it.
It's got an eye in it. Mine does.
Otherwise,
The very last one.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
Can you fix that for us? Thank you, ma'am.
I can put an eye in mine.
We'll all get a copy of it on Tuesday night, so.
But
With the
Mr.
correct
President will not stand.
version.
I shouldn't give you a copy.
I'm sorry, I don't see that.
It's the second ordinance in this, in
The eye.
line 3.
That's right.
Third line.
Here.
No, they left the line out.
Kelly, I'm gonna ask you on this, Ms. Lawrence, we're not changing anything right now, is that correct? Or,
That came from the judge, who didn't speak to me about it at all. The last I've heard was that the day that
So you should read it,
and Michael met with
She's got a
him,
quick eye.
and we discussed splitting up the job duties in my department.
okay,
He agreed, and he agreed on a salary, and I have not been told anything different. I was not even given one of those letters. I actually
Was ignored.
was ignored.
okay.
So I cannot speak for him on that. He didn't explain anything to me. Leslie has not explained anything to me. I have read
What is her job description right now?
it. Right now she does AP and payroll.
Okay. It looks like they're planning to leave you payroll. What are they gonna do with AP?
I don't know.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, could I mention something? I'm not a
Yes.
member, but let me just make a remark. In light of what's going on here, it seems that maybe this needs to be delayed and let the treasurer and the head of the finance department, if it needs restructuring, work out the restructuring. Just a
Well,
suggestion.
that was just about what I was about to come up with, because unless we got more information, I'm not understanding what they're planning to do with AP. It says she's gonna continue to process payroll, so unless there's a plan to split the job, I don't know what this is about. So I would recommend that we table this till we get more clarification as to whether there's gonna be another person. I'll let the two of y'all discuss that, and then get back with us,
If she,
hopefully before the next personnel committee meeting.
if she is gonna do less, then, I mean, her salary does not need to remain the same.
What,
You can't take a
I have a
salary.
question though, that brings the question up, what y'all said in the last meeting about not changing the salary. If she's only doing one job, how can you pay her?
That's what he just said.
Yeah, if she's gonna do less work, then you can, cause her job title's gonna change. So you can reduce the salary.
He said, I thought he said earlier you can't.
I don't agree 100% with what he said. I think that she has to request the job change, the title change, and then you can change the amount of pay. You cannot arbitrarily do it without her asking for it. That's my opinion.
She has asked for it, it's my understanding. She asked not to be, have some responsibility, but we don't know that right now, like,
Yeah,
just,
she has
asked
told
us.
me that she cannot afford to lose that money.
She told me the same thing, but yeah, I was also under the impression she requested me to only do one of the jobs.
but also, if, and this is a totally different area, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with what you say, but if there is disciplinary actions taken against an employee, you can reduce their salary.
Yes.
So, and I'm not
Yes.
saying that's the case or anything else, I just wanna make that clear.
That's
Has she
different.
always done this job?
Good one.
Has she always done this job? Both jobs?
No.
No, she
Mayor,
does not.
Did she get a salary increase to do both jobs?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that if there is a request to do only one of the jobs, it needs to be in writing. And then it would need to be with the understanding that the
She
court will
was
act
given the
accordingly.
additional money when one of the employees in her office left. And she was given the additional money to do the payroll, and she agreed to do it. Now it's my understanding that she's afraid she's going to lose that money, and she has obligated her expenditures in her personal life that she cannot afford to lose it. And that's my understanding of the situation. Could be wrong, wouldn't be the first time. But she took those things on because someone asked her to with additional money. Is that true or is that wrong?
She actually came to us and said, I'll do this if I can have more money. We were in a bond and that's what we did. It's worked somewhat. The problem with her doing both jobs is she's never completely done both of them. I'm still having to do part of both of them. I can't continue to do that
Yeah.
and continue to do justice to my other jobs. So this year, during 2019, we had a huge ordeal with IRS taxes, as you probably know. I've talked with Michael, I've talked with Justice Burge, I've talked with Peggy. I've talked with Leslie. We've all decided together that splitting the job responsibilities is just necessary. It's necessary because of the time that needs to be devoted to each section, AP and payroll. It's necessary because we need to switch software companies and someone's going to have to learn a new software. I've talked with Leslie many times about how I feel about what's gonna flow the best in our department. Splitting those jobs, to me, is what is going to work the best. No one was against that I was ever, that I had ever been told until I saw a copy of that letter last
But Kelly,
week.
you and Justice Burge and I also sat down with the judge
Correct.
in his office and had this very discussion.
Correct,
And the judge at that time was in total agreement
correct.
and told you to make the changes as you saw fit.
Let me see that.
And that was the last discussion I knew until we got this letter last week.
Yes, and Leslie was given the option of which job she wanted to do. That letter's wrong. She started in January 2014, not 13. But when she started in January of 2014, she was hired for payroll. She actually never took on 100% of that job for the whole couple, or it's probably about 3 years that she did it. Then when we hired someone else, Brenda left, and we hired someone else to do payroll. Leslie didn't want to do payroll. That didn't work out. About a year of that didn't work out. So then we were sort of stuck in a bind, and she agreed to take on payroll if we would pay her more. And that's what Judge Briceville decided to do at the time, and that's what we've been doing. It's just to the point where it's not working out the best that, that I think that office needs to be. And plus, we're about to learn new software. That's gonna put a burden on all of us, and it's gonna be hard to do both jobs and learn software. So she was aware of that. She chose to give up payroll. She chose to take AP. Beverly was gonna do payroll. We had all of that set and had the meeting with the judge and everything, so. That's the last I've been told.
Kelly, Justice Jackson has gone back to what you and I talked about a second ago. Earlier in our budget meetings, we actually okayed you a part-time position. How's that gonna work in with this?
I don't know, because I was never given any explanation of that letter. I don't know what the intentions are, so I didn't know what to do about a part-time person. I was just gonna say, hold on to that for now, because I don't know what I would do. I don't know who's gonna do what, so I can't really put a part-time person in there, but a part-time person would definitely help with the scanning. If Beverly's gonna have to go and learn payroll, then I would like to be able to take some stuff off of Beverly and give it to the part-time person. And that would put us back to the way we were set up probably 3 or 4 years ago.
So when the court passes this ordinance next week, then that will effectively move y'all under the direct supervision of Peggy. And then that would be your job to kind of coordinate these job descriptions in.
Well, we thought we had it pretty well worked out until that letter was circulated.
So yeah, you know everything except when the letter came out as a surprise.
Well, that letter is about to be null and void
When we pass the ordinance.
when the ordinance is passed. That letter is null.
Then that'll be your decision to bring back to us.
Y'all have to work it out.
We'll operate from there. So what I'm gonna do right now is recommend that we table this also till our next personnel committee meeting. Let Peggy work with Kelly and see which way we need to go on that. Can I have a motion to do that?
Yes, I'll make a motion, we table this till the next meeting.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion?
But we will see the ordinance making the move on.
Yes, that will be the only thing coming out of here tonight. We'll, I
Don't
guess
say
we'll-
night, it's not night yet, come on now. We've been here all day.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry. What we'll do is we may try to address these other issues if we can get everything worked out before your next finance committee meeting. We'll try to have one in about 3 weeks so that maybe we can discuss these other issues and move them forward to finance for y'all to act upon.
Okay, sounds good.
So if you would let everyone know that that was wanting stuff to try to get it to us as quickly as possible, like the assessor and the collector on the chief deputy, the election coordinator. Janice is here, so she knows about that one. The juvenile officer, what was the very last one that we said, yes, I know, we give it to juvenile, or,
Juvenile thing was the last thing we said yes to.
Assessor collector, you get that one?
yeah, we got, have to give them, they're gonna ask them to get that worked on and get it to us.
Oh, it was the appraisers.
But
that's under assessors.
I think that was sort of shot down by finance.
Okay.
That really wasn't, we don't need to
Okay.
be
I thought
involved
you
in
meant the
that.
last thing.
That's,
No, we
more
did.
finance. All right, if
Yes, I'm
do we have any other business
saying-
needs to be brought before personnel at this time? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll second it.
Yes,
All in
because
favor?
I'm with her. Betty's ready to go.
it's been